I was sipping on my margarita and I got fired.
Nice.
Ow.
Make it
Shooting
till you
these.
make it LA.
Damn, you were dog shit last night. Like, that was a
Can
bad
you say
set.
like that?
He was beating me really bad.
Oh, so interesting.
No one gave a shit about me.
We are not like that.
Yeah, we're miscommunicating on that. Yeah.
We just tell all the secrets right now. Hi guys, welcome to the Supersonic podcast. It's the second episode, and today I'm super happy to have Glenn, founder of the 44 Offset talent agency. And please be ready to take some notes because today we're gonna talk about how to be signed with a talent agency.
Yeah.
Can you share
nervous,
some
yeah.
secrets with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
How was your ride to Koreatown from the valley?
Long.
Long traffic?
So much. Probably like an hour 20-ish, which was like really long. Yeah.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
So I made the trek over here, but we did it.
But it's good. Tell me about your agency. How many years you doing that? You growing your company and yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a long story. It's definitely had its ups and downs and lefts and rights, but we founded it in 2020. It was me and my original partner, Chris Richmond, and I had just been kind of trying to get out of the photographer and videographer space because I was a tour photo video artist first. And I had learned a lot about that being around it so much. And then so we were out there producing a music video for one of his artists, and one of his artists was on MTV's Siesta Key, which is it's like one of their biggest reality TV shows, and so it was a big deal for us at the time. And we were out drinking one night, and I was just like, "Hey, do you want to start a talent agency? Like, do you want to like really do this thing?"
This is how all the success stories started, you know?
Yeah.
Like you just drink somewhere, like maybe to start something, do something, you know?
And he was like, "Yeah, let me sleep on it." And then like the next day, we're just like super hungover because we played beer pong all night. We were old friends, so we haven't seen each other in a long time. So we did all that, and he was just like, "Yeah, what are we gonna call it?" And earlier that night, we had called it. He was beating me really bad, and so then I called like a 4-4 offset, like how you offset the cups in beer pong.
Honestly, that's the thing. I've never asked you the like meaning of your like name,
the
and
name.
I'm really very interesting. So,
Yeah.
oh, nice.
And then he was just like, "Yeah, what do we call it?" And I was, "What if we called it like 4-4 offset?" And he was just like, "Shit, that works." I was like, "Yeah, I guess it does." One person over all the years that I've been doing this called me out on it on a phone call. He's like, it was a Disco Lines manager, Gone. When I was first meeting him a few years ago, we were on the phone talking about a song Goodfella and Disco Lines were doing at the time. And he was like, "Is that a beer pong reference?" I was like, "Holy shit." Like, yeah, how'd you catch that? So that was kind of how that started. And we did business. Me and Chris did business for a few years together. We ran the company by Coastal. He did non-scripted acting management, some music management in Florida. I was doing it with electronic musicians and some hip hop artists in California. Over time, we kind of had to part ways just because it was hard to run by Coastal, and he kind of wanted to do business differently, and so did I. And so I took the company into my own hands probably like 2 years ago or so, and kind of brought on new partners and new artists.
So you are the father.
Yeah.
Okay. How many artists do you have right now in your agency?
I think you are 7.
You are?
Yeah.
We just tell all the secrets right now. Okay. I hope so.
Yeah,
yes,
you're the
I'm
7th.
super excited. Okay, okay, I'm just super happy. No, this is the reason why I invite you, because I was trying to find an agency for a long time, and when you suggest me to be in your team, it was very like excitement news for me, and I'm excited about the future. But
Good.
this is not about me right now, about you.
We'll circle back.
But you said that you were a photographer. Like, what is it to have a company, to be a founder of the music talent agency and not to be a musician at the same time? How you navigate this situation?
So it all just kind of happened like on its own. So I have to go way back to kind of tell the whole story. So I was a professional BMX rider in middle school,
Okay.
and middle school and high school. And through that, I got into shooting photos and videos of me and my friends at skate parks. And then that's kind of how I learned.
Still far away from the music.
Yeah, very far away from the music. And that kind of led me to be creative and kind of like, oh, I love this camera thing. This is really cool. Then I put it down for a few years, tried to go to like junior college. That didn't work out. Worked construction for a few years. And then I was pretty lost. And one of my buddies was like, dude, you should pick up your camera again and start being creative and like kind of start doing something with your life, not just pouring concrete. And I was like, that sounds fucking awesome. Like way better than what I'm doing now. And so, yeah, and someone was throwing a party. A friend of a friend was throwing a party, and they posted on Instagram, and I DM'd them, and I was like, hey, can I come shoot this? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I went to that party. I drove like 5 hours because I was living up in Reading at the time. Drove 5 hours, shot the party. I met 3 of my friends there that I'm still best friends with to this day, and we all like started in music together. Okay. And we both like, he built an agency which is more on like the internet streamer like gaming side of things, yeah. And I went more in the music direction. He still has a massive hold in music though too. His agency's sick, but that's basically to say that that's how I kind of got into music.
Yeah.
And then I toured and did photo video for about 2 to 3 years after that. And after like being on my first bus tour with Youngblood, and I was doing like the photo and video editing and staying up, like the musicians and like the touring crew will stay up for like, you know, very, very long amounts of time. But the photo video editor has to stay up even longer to get the deliverables done to promote the show the next day and then do it again and again. Like I was just like, yo, I can't live like this. Like, and some people are built for it, and like I'm built for a lot of things in different ways regarding this business, but that just wasn't, it kind of sucked the art out of it for me. I didn't feel like fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was really making something I wanted to make anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, damn, I kind of like, I want to step up into the, you know, the ranks of the music industry. I want to like manage my own musicians. I think I have like a different kind of outlook on how I want to go about this.
Did you have thoughts like how you're going to manage musicians without like the music knowledges, without like knowledges of the music history or maybe music industry, like about, do you know like genres, like how the difference between genres or like some basic things?
I mean, being a fly on the wall as like a photo video guy, like I got to learn a lot of things. I got to see how managers act. I got to see how tour managers were on the road. Like I was like a fly on the wall. I was like a dry sponge. I was just absorbing everything I could. And then it got to a point where I was like, I'm going to fucking try this. I'm going to figure it out, you know? And it was like a lot of me like kind of managing my friends and like, you know, like, oh, I'm the manager now, and like popping into emails and like, oh, I represent so-and-so, and like, you know, getting my ass handed to me multiple times in email threads, trying to get them like better slots on sets or, you know, like songs out on very small labels. And it was just a lot of learning.
You just had your own experience. You didn't like finish any like management school or stuff
Zero.
like that.
Zero like actual schooling. Yep, self-taught all the way through. Yeah.
Oh, so interesting. So about your artist, so you said I'm the 7th. What kind of artists do you have? Because I know that it's not just electronic music.
It's heavily electronic music. Okay. And then we have an artist, Hans, who is like a pop hip hop artist kind of. It's nice. Like R&B. So
but mostly it's
mostly electronic music. Yeah.
Who's your rising star right now? Who is like almost?
They're all rising stars. They're all rising
the 7th,
stars,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, everybody is crushing it in their own way. I think we're seeing a lot of success with Goodfella right now, though.
Yeah, this
following
is
the Tiesto record.
I'm following him at Sila that he released the track with the Tiesto, right? Like he's doing such a great job right now. Yeah. I just followed him, watching like his stories, his posts, like his success, and it's impressed me. In like, where have he been before he came to your agency? He was like he did like a small step in the music journey, or he already been like
So I watched him for probably like a year before I signed him.
Okay.
And one of my really good friends who I work with very often, Cam, went to school with him in San Diego, and me and Cam had been running video teams together for a while. and he knew I was like getting in the artist manager thing, and he saw me like making like very small strides at the time in the artist management game, and he was like, bro, like I'm telling you, this kid, good fella, Kyle, like he's up, like he's gonna be the one. And I was like, okay, and I trust Cam. And so I watched him for a while, and then he had this killer show at the observatory with Kai Vaughn, and it was just one of those things where he got the right set time and it was the right crowd,
Yeah.
and they just went off, and I was like, wow, like he's so early on and he's crushing shows like this. I was like, this kid's gonna be a star, like he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so I DM'd
You suggest
him.
him to be signed by your agency?
Yeah, no, I DM'd him and I was like, hey, come
In
over, like we
Instagram?
should talk. Yeah, I think so. I
This
think it
is
was-
how the agency connects to the artist, just
yeah.
DM to the Instagram?
Yeah, you just go
Okay.
straight to the source.
Okay.
Like, if we want to work,
And
let's
what he
work.
said?
I invited him to come over, and then we sat in my backyard for probably like an hour or two and just talked life, music. And you know, we were both young and hungry at the time, and I didn't know a whole ton about anything, a little bit more than I did. But it was confident enough. I was like, hey, I can guide you through this, and like, let's give it a shot, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been rocking together for almost 4 years now.
Oh, from the start of your company,
Yeah,
right?
probably a year after, so about 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. You mentioned that you invite him like back, like to your house, like to talk, like to have some more like friendship conversation.
Yeah.
How important for you to have like a kind of friendship and relationship with your artists?
I think it's the most important. I think everyone gets into this business like because it's entertainment. Like we want to have fun, you know,
Yeah.
even though it's just like a crazy cutthroat industry sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's hard. But everybody does it because it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to do this with your friends, and you know you're supposed to have a good time. And I don't want to work with anyone that doesn't want to work with me or doesn't like when you get into management, like you're not just managing a business. Like this person isn't just a business, like it's a real person.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go through the highs, you're gonna go through the lows, like you're gonna go through all of it together. Like you become, like as a manager, you become their person, you know, you're their older brother or older sister, you're someone that they like look up to, respect. Like you have to set a good example, but also like there has to be trust. Like they're going to call you about like the work stuff, but they're also going to call you about the personal stuff too, like a passing of a loved one or a breakup or something like
Borrow
that.
money.
Yeah. And so you got to really want to do it with a person, you know. It's like that's a real bond that you have to have with someone.
Any chance if, for example, it's like you see that it can be the successful artist in the future, but he's not like on your like he's not your vibe like 100%. He's not like your close friend. Can you work with this type of person?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Just more like a business relationship.
Yeah. I think there's definitely different levels to it, but I think that every artist on our roster, I'd consider a close friend.
Yeah.
And it comes from like when I was touring with Future and he took me around the world. I owe a lot of my career to him because him and his creative director, Spike Jordan, at the time really put me on.
Yeah.
But I was going to New York, Dubai, like we were on the private jets. Like this is like my first, like I'd been in LA for like a year and a half at the time, and I was like really seeing what life was like. I was like, damn, like this is so sick. But also at the same time, I didn't know anyone there. No one gave a shit about me. And like I was just indispensable and replaceable, which is fine because I was a tool for the job.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I do this, I want to do it with my people. I want it to mean something because like for Future and his crew, like those were all his boys. Like that was his family. Like his mom runs his business. Like it's like he kept it very close. And I was like, I don't want to work for someone that I'm not like close with like that. And I want to flip the script and I want to go build this for other people that I like love and respect. That way, when we're on the jet or we're at the festival, I'm looking around and I'm seeing my best friends. I'm seeing my people.
I completely agree with your vision. I think if I have, like, I still have my team, for example, like, I don't know, like the camera guy who doing
It's
like
a great group of people
right
over
now,
there.
They're all my best friends.
That's
like
cool.
Literally, like we know, like we can go, I don't know, for a movie together, go to Universal Studio, but at the same time we are working together.
Yep.
Not just because they're my friends, they're talented as well, but for me it's very important to be surrounded like good people, talented people, and especially when they are my friends as well, it's like perfect combo.
Yeah.
But do you think if you're working kind of like when your artists becoming your friends, can it a little bit make it difficult for you as a manager, you know, like
Yes.
that you can close your eyes for some like bad moments? You understand what I mean?
I do.
Like how
I
you
think
managing that?
I think it gets tricky because like they're, not all relationships go perfectly. Like that's just life.
Telling truth, like for example, Leisan, you play so bad last night. How you gonna like cross this
Oh, you have to be so
line?
honest. Like you have to be, and you have to learn. Like it's something that like you have to get comfortable with. But also like, I would never just be like, "Damn, you were dog shit last night. Like that was a
Can
bad
you say it
set."
like that?
What was that? Do you want me to?
No. Can you say like be completely like straight, like
Like how I would
true?
be. I try to, if I was like telling you what was good and what was bad, I'm never just going to come down on someone because I feel like that's like not a good way to do business. And constructive criticism needs to come from a standpoint of like you need to lift someone else up, like,
Yeah.
but you also need to set them straight. Like you never just want to put someone down. Like that's not how you go about that. That's going to hurt someone's feelings. And like at the end of the day, that's not what you want to do. You're not trying to
Yeah.
hurt their feelings. But if it wasn't my favorite song or my favorite set, or like, I just didn't like what was going on, like I'm going to be straight up about it.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to be like, yo, you killed it here. You killed it here. This wasn't my favorite. I didn't think the crowd liked this. I'm going to give supporting reasons why. I'm not just going to be like, yo, dog, like your set sucked. Like be better.
But
Like that's not good.
I prefer if like my friends or like manager to be like honest with me as
Yep.
well. Like if like I don't know, like my best friend Anastasia, she's sitting like that. She always like telling me truth. Like,
Yep.
babe, your hair looks bad. Like or whatever. But I don't know, she's saying not because she won't hurt me,
Yep.
because she's like, yeah, this is true, or like your set wasn't like so good last time, or because she just like sharing her feelings. And I think this is like the most important thing for us, like to checking the situation, like how's going on, everything. About the artist, so I just want to tell why I'm happy right now to start working with your agency, because so 6 months ago I started looking for a management,
Okay.
because I was at the position when I wanna stop to be just like the bar DJ for like $300,
Right.
but I'm not like a big artist yet. And I'm like something in between at some bridge, and I felt that I need some support. I need some like professional people around me who will help me to find cool gigs, cool festivals, and stuff like that. I started to just DM people. Like people in Instagram to agency, email them, post Instagram stories, post like texting people like, hey, I'm looking for a management, la la la. So people are, some people didn't answer me at some agency, like say that they're not interested in that. So what to do to the artist if they're like at this position as me, for example, like 6 months ago? If you're a little bit bigger than just like a bar DJ, but you're not a superstar, you don't have like a million release yet, how to be visible? Is it make sense to DM for the agency in Instagram or email them?
No, it definitely does. Like you're never going to get through the door if you don't knock on it. And
Yeah.
like so many of these like crazy success stories like come from like sending someone a song or like saying what's up or introducing yourself. Like you really do have to put yourself out there. So I think any artist like out there should be doing that. Like send your music to everybody. Like, tell all your friends about it, get them to talk about it. Like, um but like to your point, like you felt like you were at this crossroads where you were like, hey, I think I'm ready to like take that next step. Like we saw that. Like I saw you at Dream Machine. I was like, damn, this girl is cool. She's nice. Her sound is sick. Her set was good. And then I took it to the team and they were like, yeah, like this is like right where we want to grab an act.
You
And
discussed like that after
yeah,
Dream Machine?
absolutely. 100%. And we are like, this is where we want to grab an act. And then this is what we want to go do. So we also felt the same way.
Okay, how are you looking for the artist? Like you just trust the like a moment. You're not like just okay, I'm gonna grab the Instagram right now. I want to check, or how it's going on. Just like you go with the flow.
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Like as like someone who scouts talent, you always want to keep your ear to the ground, and you always want to kind of know who's doing what and who's touring and who's supporting people, and who's doing stuff. And then sometimes it's just like you go to a show and you see someone and you're like, wow, like this is sick. And then you look at like the history, like with you, like how you present yourself and your branding and how hard you work. And it's like, okay, like all of this aligns with what we're trying to do. And it's just kind of like, just make a decision. You're like, I want to work with someone like this.
Okay, how long you, for example, like let's talk about me. When you saw me the first time and you decided in your head that I can be potentially the artist of your agency, how long you gonna wait? What the period of time you have to like check me, see what I'm doing before you suggest me to work with the agency?
I think it was like 3 weeks, right? It might have been less than a month. That was it?
No.
Yeah. Okay,
After
Dream Machine
Dream
was 2
Machine?
months ago.
No way. It feels
Yeah,
like a
right?
year.
So it might have been. We have receipts we can check at some point, but I think it had to have been a month, maybe.
Okay.
Had to have been a month because like saw you,
It's not like you
liked it.
sitting 6 months just like waiting.
Sometimes it is though. Sometimes it is. Like with Kyle, for example, like I watched the project for a year, you know, but he was a younger act at the time than like I think you are. Like he was not playing consistent shows like that and doing that. Like you were playing more consistent shows and doing stuff. So every artist is different though.
Yeah.
But it just depends. But I thought you were in a good enough spot to where it didn't take too long, and the rest of the team was like, yes, sign off, good to go.
Okay, I want to ask how you choose the artist. That's the question.
Okay.
Like, okay. I want to ask you the question how you choose the artist. Like, for example, if we have a lot of young artists who may be watching us right now, who just like at the start of their career, the other screen of their TV or phones, they're just watching us and they're like, okay, I'm ready to be signed by the agency. Like, who are you looking for? Like, who I have to be like as an artist? Like, I don't know, I have to jump, sing, play instruments, to be bright, or maybe like, I don't know, like.
I think it's different for everyone. It's like
for you, what is it?
For me specifically, I want to see someone who looks like they know themselves as an artist, like they know their project, they know who they want to be, they know how they want to portray themselves, but also that they're consistent. They're out playing shows. Like you play a lot of shows on your own, like without management or without agents. Like you go out, you find those, you network, you're really out there trying to make a name for yourself. You're working very hard. As managers, we're going to go to work for you and we're going to be your people 24/7. So we expect that out of you. You know, it's a two-way street. Like we're not going to go far if only like one side of this is working, you know? So if I can see that like you're also going to work before you even have a team, I'm like, damn, that person has a great work ethic. They know who they are. That's someone I want to work with.
About the consistently, I agree with you, but sometimes when I'm talking to the other DJs, and I kind of agree with them as well, they're saying like not to play it too much, because when you're playing a lot, you're like too visible. Like people want to like have some exclusive artists, you know, when not like when you are playing 3 times in a week and in every bar and you're annoying to see your flyers every day. But you not agree with me?
No, continue. I do agree to a point. I do agree.
Okay, but I think when you're saying about consistently, you mean like just
doing
have
stuff. Yeah, you're doing stuff.
Do something.
But I do agree with you, and in the fact that like you don't want to just throw your name on fucking everything. That's also a bad look. But like I guess like I should rephrase and say like I want to see that you're playing tasteful things. Like you're out getting shows. The crowds are good. You know, like there's a difference between you like being like the opener on every like support slot that like comes through a town. Like you also don't want to be that DJ because like or musician because of then you get branded as just like the local opener.
Be selective.
Yeah, and it's like there's like very hard to get out of that. You know what I mean? So you have to be selective.
To be selective, but still be busy.
Yes.
To have a personality, like to have a brand.
Yeah.
What else?
I think work ethic.
But
like that's just so
talented?
important to me personally.
To be talented? Is it important?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Of course. Okay, and let's tell the secret. Okay, so they're the young artists. They can DM to the agency, they can email them, they can like how else? Like sending demos or like invite to the show maybe?
Yeah, like it's just like you want to be casual, you want to be cool about it. Like you don't want to like, because I see kids that will fly in. No, seriously though, like kids will fly into emails and be like, listen to my song. And then a week goes by, like, listen to my song. A week goes by, like, hey bro, why haven't you listened to my song? And then they catch attitude with you and you're like I'm just in my email, dude, trying to like live my life. Like so there's a cool way to go about it, but also like if we're looking for, you know, someone we want to work with, like we promise we're looking at all the options, and if we like the music or if we like the act, like we're going to do something about it. Or maybe it's not a right fit for us because we don't like, maybe we really like the project, but we don't have the bandwidth to take it on, you know, because like I'm a small shop, like we have like 2 or 3 managers here.
Yeah.
We don't have like the crazy bandwidth to, you know, take on an act,
Yeah.
take on so many acts. So we may really like someone and we're like, damn, like I wish I could work with you. Like the song is sick, but I can't like be responsible for your life and your career right now. So.
Okay, when you start working with the artists, what do you suggest them, like as an agency? What are you doing for them?
I think every agency is different in what they offer.
Okay, let's talk about your agency.
Okay. So at my agency, we have 4 silos of business. We have the talent management division, we have the marketing division, we have the production division, which is like photo, video, commercials, music videos, photo shoots, all of that.
Like
and
a
then,
team who doing
yeah, exactly. And then we have the live events, which we produce like music festivals, experiential events, things like that. So a lot of management companies will outsource a lot of those things because they don't do it in-house. Like they're just managers, and that's great. But then you have a lot of people that are like outside of the team, and they're building like little teams around each artist, and then like a lot of people come and go, and there's just like it's a lot of moving parts. Here, what we've tried to do, because I've been on like basically every side of an artist project at this point, when you sign with us, like we try to do all of that in-house for you. And sometimes like you may not like the people that we have, or you may not like the artists, and then we'll go, you know, and it's a la carte, and we'll figure that out based on whatever you want or need.
Yeah.
But we try to offer all of these services to a musician, like a full 360 kind of development. Like we want to give you every asset and every chance possible to win, you know, like
we
we're
just
not
kind
just
of
here.
see like the not like weak spots, but the spot that you have to support.
Yeah, like
the
where you
artist.
need help.
For example, I don't need help with, like, I don't know, like for Instagram, you're not taking it, but you help me, for example, like to book shows or.
Like you crush social media. Like I would never even touch that.
This
I
is
would
the
just
only
be like,
one thing that I'm crushing.
but you're fucking good at it. And we would never be like,
This
we
is the
think you
only
should
one
come in
thing.
and do this. That's also something is like, I never try and tell a musician like how to make art or how to do what they're doing. Like I can have an opinion. I could be like,
Yeah.
hey, I think this could sound good, but I'm never like, if like an artist comes to me with a song, they're like, what do you think about this? I'm never going to be like, oh, you should replace the hi-hats or blah, 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 this or that. Like, I'm not a musician. Like, you guys do that.
You're photographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the
We
core
can
of
we
it.
can ask you like what the
Yeah.
photo to
Visual
post on
stuff I'm decent
Instagram.
at, you know.
Yeah. About the agreement, it's very interesting because can I say about our conditions?
Yeah.
I mean, between me and
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
agency. So
Yeah.
when we met, you said that it's just like 1 year agreement and 20% percentage
Yes.
from the gig that I don't know. We
So
will
the
bring.
deal is 3-month trial period. No,
Right now we have that.
in the trial period,
Yeah.
and then we don't touch any of that, any income we bring in from that. And then if you decide that you like us and you're not annoyed and that you want to keep working with us, we would go into a 1-year agreement of 20% of net profits.
Yeah.
And
This is kind of conditions to every like young artist in your company, or you have this special agreement with each of one? them.
so I can't specifically talk about by name with
Of course,
with
but
these
it's
different musicians, but some of the musicians I don't even have on contract. It's just a handshake agreement.
No way.
Swear. Yeah. Some of the biggest like managers and musicians in the world are just on a handshake agreement. And some people are like, that's great. And some people are like, are you fucking dumb? But at the end of the day, like what I was saying to you earlier is like, it's a trust thing. You know, these people become your friends and your family.
know, but we're living in this world when even, oh my God, I have so many stupid situations when someone booked me and for example, I had a gig in New York and someone booked me here.
Okay.
And I've been in New York. I had a like a quick flight to New York for 16 hours. I really like came to New York, played, and in a few hours I slept like 3 hours and back because I used to have gig here.
Yeah.
And like before my flight, I just texting like, is everything good, guys? And like, oh my God, we forgot to tell you that gig is canceled. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I'm doing these stupid things right now, like no sleeping, playing like blah blah blah, and it's so disrespectful.
Yep.
And they pay me like a cancellation fee $75 on my Zelle. I was so angry. I didn't have a chance to change the tickets.
Right.
And this is like, and my boyfriend, he has a production company, and he's very picky with the like agreements and stuff like that. He's like, to be responsible, blah blah blah. And
Yep.
he's like, did you have a contract with them? I'm like, no, this is a bar, but still, like, it's like ruined my plans.
Yeah.
But you have like no agreement with the artist. Like, how is it possible?
Some yes, some no, and it's based on my core values of like, I don't want to work with anyone who doesn't want to work with me. Like if there's ever an instance where like an artist and me on my roster feel like we're not compatible,
Yeah.
it's no bad blood, it's no issue. Like we did cool work or we didn't and it didn't work out, and it's all good. We part ways. I never want to be the kind of manager or kind of company owner that is keeping people in a contract just for the money. That's not why I started doing this.
Do you have any like money risk then? If I don't know, something happened, maybe that's why you not have an agreement with someone. Maybe your risk is not high.
So as a management company, we're not obligated to put money into projects. We can if we want to, and that's kind of on a like a however you sort that out is however you sort that out. Like if I was to loan you money, and then I would probably put you on contract being like, hey, like if you could pay this back out of like all these shows we get you, and slowly put on a payment plan or something like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a label advance or something. That's one way to do it. But also as an early manager, like I had like funded someone's career for a year and like had them sleep on my couch, and they were a best friend to me. And then they ended up burning me, and just now we don't talk anymore. And so it's like, I was a younger manager at the time, so you know, that's on me. But to your point, I think like in my production silo of things, if I'm working with like a liquor brand or another production company or something, yeah, we contract. We for sure contract, because I don't know those people. But if we're building a business together, like if you want a contract, or I think we need to be on a contract because we have X amount of dollars coming in, or then yeah, we'll put it on paper. But it's a by case basis.
What about 12 months agreement that you renew like every year? I had one conversation with the other like agency, and they asked me like 2 years minimum, because for 1 year it's like impossible to make something good with the artist. So we need like a 2 years, and 2 years it's a good period of time to like grow the artist. But you said a year, but I think it's just like a year.
I just like, it's like I don't know the terms that they put in your contract. It's like a lot of managers will put sunset clauses in. So like if we like do a lot of work together, and I think this is a good way of practice as well. Like if we build your career up and we do a lot of good work for you, and then we do part ways, like a sunset clause is like we make X amount for a year, and then it goes down a certain percentage. So like, and then it goes down, and then eventually we don't make money off you anymore. So it's like our work was, you know, validated, and like we did cool work, but we just don't work together anymore. But like the work we did do, like we still make money off of it for a few years. So management companies can set it up that way. If you're getting in a business with someone and you're not doing a trial period first, like how do you know maybe I don't even want to like hang out with you for 2 years, you know what I mean? Like, and like it's a crazy ask to ask you the same thing. So I think it needs to be more casual than that. I don't think it needs to be this whole like we're in it for like 5 years and like you're locked in. Like that's crazy.
This is one thing why I like it in your company, that the trust and like the good relationship is like the base between you and artist. But you know, I just want to like see the other side of this job also, not just like when you have a perfect relationship with the artist. Do you have any red flags about the artist? Like when you see this artist, like, oh no, this is not gonna be good?
Yes and no. I think it's another like case by case basis kind of thing. I think like when you start to build a relationship with someone and there's money involved, and there's also like high stress situations involved, like you're touring and like you're up late and like we're all running ragged and stuff, like emotions can fly high. So I think you have to give everybody like the benefit of the doubt, you know, and like be like, okay, they need to cool off, because like even me and my teammates, like not on the roster side, just like me and my partners and stuff, like we'll get into arguments and like have to go cool off and come back. And because it's like we're all friends, but we also work together. And so you have to let people feel emotions and,
Yeah.
have the whole human experience. Like we can't
Yeah.
just be all 100 all the time. But from the times I have been burned, to answer your question, like, yeah, I can see red flags coming. Like,
For example, which one? Give me like 3 red flags. Like if you see artists doing something or acting weird or saying something, whatever, or I don't know.
I think red flags are, I can't point out three because I think it's different for each person, but like you kind of start to get to know a person and kind of know their patterns and kind of know if they're moody or they're not moody or how they react to certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, um, I think it's just like in every relationship in general, when you see someone like become distant or they're not hitting you back and you're
Not
like,
answering your
yeah,
phone
like,
messages.
hey, I'm trying to make you money, bro. Like, why am I spending my time doing this? Like, talking to these agents or show promoters or these label execs. And like, I'm like trying to get you money.
Did you
And
have this
you're,
kind of situations when you like texting to the artist and he's not answering? Like I know.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I've been through a few of them. And some were harder than others because some were like really close friends and like some were like,
And what are you doing? You just like have a patient, like, and like what's going on
I mean,
in your
yeah, I try to
mind?
be nice at first and I'm trying to like, hey, like, where are you? And then like I managed a musician who was a very, very close friend of mine for years and helped build their career up, got them signed to their first label, got them their first major releases, their remixes or whatever. And then because I was also managing and building the business, um, and not going out to the club with this person every night, and they didn't think that I was around enough, even though that I had gotten them all of these deals and done all these things for them and put actual money in their pocket for the first time as an artist.
Yeah.
I got taken out to dinner one night and let go. We hadn't seen each other in a month, and I thought we were catching up, and I was bought margaritas and tacos, and then I was sipping on my margarita and I got fired. And I was like, ow. I was like, ow, that sucked. Really? You? Like, out of everyone? And this person was a very close friend of mine, and they still are. I still consider this person a very close friend. Like, we still have a good relationship. But I was just like,
Maybe
damn,
this
like,
person was scared to tell you the truth, or
I think so. I think that they were scared that it would affect our relationship, and it did.
yeah,
Like I'm not gonna be, weird about it. It definitely affected our relationship. I think just because I was confused, because I was just
yeah,
like I go to work for you, and like obviously, but they had a different view on our relationship than I did, and that's totally normal. Like they wanted stuff out of this relationship that I wasn't able to give them at the time, and then in my head, I thought I was giving them enough in this relationship, and it just wasn't enough for them,
yeah.
and that's totally fair. It just sucked getting fired over margaritas, but at least I was able to drink it off. But
Yeah, it's a sad story, but good that you have a lot of other artists and you
yeah,
can put
it's
this
also a good
energy.
learning experience too.
Yeah, of course. What is it to, like your work is, for example, okay, when you sign like a big artist, you see like, okay, he has a success, he has a big like background and experience, and you see like that he can be a successful artist. But when you sign with a young artist, you just like truly believe something which does not exist yet, like something in the future, like some
Yeah, it's this
illusion.
crazy dumb thing we do
how
as
is
managers
how
where
you
we're just like,
managing this kind of thing, like just to believe and just like, will it work out or not? It's like so difficult, I guess.
oh no, it's really difficult. Like you're right for sure. You just have to like you have to see it, and that goes like back to very early on in our conversation. We're talking about like what do you look for? Like there's something that every person has. Like
Yeah,
when you see something, you're like, I like that, and then you can see the vision of like, wow, I can see them playing main stage here or performing here, and you can just kind of see, or at least for me anyways, you can see it, and you're like, wow, this person's music is going to be so good, it's going to touch so many people, like this is like you can see it so clearly.
yeah,
And I think that's where the motivation comes from, when you're like, I think I could do something here, I think I could help this person out, like because that's our job at the end of the day, is help build careers. um
how many times you were wrong with your expectations and yeah, about the artist, like when you think that
four
4 times?
4 times.
And how
Yeah,
many it was successful cases?
working on 7 right now.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's like 50%.
yeah, 50%. Decent
It's
batting average, but I'm not done yet. So
yeah, it's an experience. Um back to this situation when I was trying to find an agency by myself like 6 months
Hmm.
ago. I don't remember like a lot of agencies, honestly, like especially in America. And we're not talking about the Europe right now. I mean about the America. Is it the big competitions? Not like a competitions. Like how is it? A lot of agencies exist in America right now. I mean, we're not talking about the big one, but about like
Yeah, I think so. I think there is a lot of independent boutique agencies like ours. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones. There's independent managers that like don't want to do anything besides manage like two or three acts, like there's every shape and size for it. Competition, like I guess like you could say musicians are like competing for like the same ticket holders and
oh
like
yeah,
same kind of audiences and stuff like that if you want to look at it that way.
yeah,
But at the same time, like you also want to make friends with everybody and like
for sure.
collaborate and like.
For sure. What about the spin agency? I know that you're working together.
Hmm.
It's a spin agency is a big booking artist
Yep.
agency in America, I guess, and they really work with the big artists. And how you start working with them? Like,
They came to us actually. They
oh,
really, yeah,
really?
they really they believed in our agents over at Spin, our Charlie and
Yeah.
Jules, and they're rock stars. If you guys see this, you guys are rock stars. Love working with them. They're the greatest. They're really cool guys.
How
They
do you work together right now? Like, you helping them with the artist, or you giving them the artist? You like
So
growing
the
up the
difference between a management company like mine and a talent agency like theirs in music is that management handles like the creative on the artist side, the music, the touring, as far as like logistics and stuff goes, and then the agents will communicate with the promoters, find you festival slots, tour slots. They handle the shows.
yeah.
They find you the live shows to do. So basically, they go to work on helping kind of direct Kyle's project in the live music space. Do we want to
Yeah.
go hard ticket plays? Do we want to go soft ticket plays? Do we want to play these venues? Do we want to do this look? This look is more commercial. This look is a little bit more underground. Um, so we really trust them to help us guide the project that way and kind of shape it and mold it.
Oh, so interesting. More like doing like more bigger things when the artists are big
Hmm.
already, has a tour and stuff like that. They just like navigate
Yeah.
this kind of thing, and you more working like personal with an artist.
Yep.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah, so there's multiple things that like go there's like multiple businesses that go around an artist project and multiple teams that have to like work together and kind of sync up and because like we have the label, we have the management team, then we have the agents, and it's all us kind of all doing our part to
Yeah.
get it across the line.
What is your plan like as a founder of your company, like to have more artists or to get the like the bigger gigs for your artists? Like what is your plan in like 2 3 years maybe?
In 2 or 3 years, I it's a very interesting question to ask me right now because I'm in the middle of reorganizing my whole company.
What do you mean reorganize?
I can't talk about it too much on camera, but I can tell you that we're going through an expansion phase right now, bringing on new partners, opening up new divisions, more people, more bandwidth. Um, Everything's better basically. New car, new shoes, that kind
So
of thing,
cool. No, so
for the
cool.
company.
Yeah.
Just kind of kicking it up a notch
Just
on
make it
things.
bigger. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
And that's not to say that I like need like the biggest or I want to have like a really big roster with a ton of musicians or anything like that. I actually don't know if I want that. I'd rather do really good work for maybe like 10 to 15 artists at the end of the day and really make sure that everyone is loved and taken care of and um, really, just feels good about their home. So that's the vision for the management division for the 2 to 3 years. And then for the other silos, I would like to be producing more festivals, more commercials, more work for me and the team. Yeah.
Okay. Look, right now you said that you have like almost 7 artists. In
Hmm.
the 2 3 years, you potentially want to have, for example, 15. Uh, if some of the young artists like watching you right now, and maybe they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to be signed by 44 of Sad, please." Can you give some like 3 5 tips for them what to do? Like maybe to be interested as an artist?
3 to 5 tips to be. I think the first one would to be authentic, be true to yourself, take the time to figure out your sound and your look and like the kind of music you want to make and the kind of image you want to portray and the kind of audience you want to have, the kind of impact you want to leave. Like make sure you kind of like you kind of know the direction you want to go. Like we talked about earlier, send your music out, start talking to people. Email is like, it's great and it's not great because it's very easy to open an email or open a DM and someone's like, hey, listen to my music, bro. And it's like we try to, but we're also taking care of 7 other lives,
Yeah.
So a lot of it gets lost in the sauce, unfortunately. We try and do our best though, but get out to shows, network, meet people, shake hands, get into the scene, start to make a name for yourself, I don't know if that was my 3 to 5, but that's kind of my message.
It's cool, and I agree with you. But the only one thing what I'm thinking when you said to be authentic, it's a very important topic because, like today, we have like the music industry has so many artists. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like a black hole when I'm sitting with my Instagram and just like 1, 2, 3 million artists, these DJs, like from the different like I don't know cities, countries. Like, is it really like the music industry is overpacked of the
For
DJs?
sure. Of course.
What to do?
Yeah. I think that it's very easy to tell when someone is trying to be a facade and like
What is it facade?
a facade is like something that they aren't, like it's fake.
Ah,
Like they're trying to be like,
pretending to
yeah,
be.
exactly.
Okay.
Like someone's like, oh, I'm a fucking rock star. I'm gonna smash my guitar, and like they've never like they've played at a bar one time. You know what I mean? And they're like driving around in a rented car, and they're like
Fake it
shooting
till you
these.
make it. LA
Yes,
full of this kind
exactly,
of
exactly.
people. We are not like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
don't
authentic.
don't do that. It's very easy to see. You rented the cars. You're throwing the prop money around. You're like, it's very easy to tell that like you're trying to fake it. And like on one hand, faking it till you make it is how we all do make it at the end of the day. You have to believe in that, but also like just don't be weird about it. Like don't be extra. I think be authentic. Like just make good music or
I
make
love
music that's true to
sometimes be
yourself.
extra.
What was that?
I love sometimes to be extra.
Being extra is great. Just don't be weird in being extra.
Okay.
No, I think we're miscommunicating on that. Weird is fun, but I'm talking about like
To be natural weird.
yeah,
If it's a
natural
part
weird is
of
fun.
you.
I'm talking about like people will just be like you can just tell that it's like with bad intention.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. Is like bad intention and they're just trying to like lie to everybody and like seem to be something that they're not. And that's like the easiest way to be like, okay, like I don't want to like work with somebody that's like lying or like trying to like front and be all this. It's like it doesn't have to be like that.
You know why I invite you to my podcast?
Why?
Just ask you all the questions because right now I know like what to expect, like all your bad and good experience. That okay, I'm not gonna lie to
Oh,
you.
you just wanted the
anytime.
tea. Okay, I got it.
I'm
I
not
guess
gonna
that's the
lie
point.
to you anytime. I'll to be honest, and you can be honest with me as well. But no, thank you so much for our conversation because it's really important because me or like other people who don't have any like support around like or other people from the music industry who can say the advice, tell the advice or help or maybe like help to manage something.
Right.
And it's cool to listen something like that what you said today.
Thank you.
My English is worse and worse every second.
No,
Because
it's good. It's good.
almost an hour and my vocabulary is
Yeah.
almost out. Yeah, but no, honestly, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to work with you and with your agency. I'm truly believe that 2024 because I don't believe in astrology but a little bit believe and I watched my astrology for the next year and they said that Pisces is my year in my professional career.
Sick.
2024.
That's
It's
good.
good news for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's
Because
great
we are
news for me.
connecting.
Yeah.
Yes. So I really believe I'm super excited, ready to work, and let's see what will be in the future. And
Yeah.
good luck with your artist, with your agency, and hope in the 2-3 years you will have 15 artists, you'll have a huge house, good sponsors, and a lot of money,
Yeah.
right?
That's the plan. Well,
Okay.
thank you for having me.